we have breaking news. This is in the past 20 minutes. Steven Crowder, shout out to the Loudworth Crowder crew and the Mug Club. They have obtained the Utah County Sheriff's Office internal documents regarding suspected Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson. The information has been made public by the Crowder team, and I'm not so much focused on his personal details, but we have the charges: felony discharge of firearm causing serious bodily injury, obstruction of justice, capital first-degree felony conduct, and aggravated murder, which not bailable. And I believe in the second document just repeats those charges with more information about the individual and the probable cause statement, which is long, but I do want to read. It says, the following information was obtained by your affiant from police officers. Multiple video recordings posted on social media websites, Utah Valley University campus surveillance cameras, and those who witnessed the incident. On September 10th, 2025, Charles James Kirk was at the Utah Valley University campus in Orem, Utah for a political event. Mr. Kirk is a conservative political activist who is scheduled to speak at an event in the courtyard area of the UVU campus. The courtyard area is to the west of the Lossy Center building. According to video recordings, Charles was wearing a white t-shirt and dark pants, sitting under a white canopy in a courtyard of the campus facing to the east. The event was attended by hundreds of individuals. Charles was surrounded by people with multiple individuals to his left, right, and rear and front of the canopy. Behind the canopy was a walkway used for access to various parts of the university. Charles was holding a microphone and speaking to the crowd. While speaking to the microphone, a loud gunshot was heard at approximately 12:23 hours, and Charles appeared to have been hit in the neck. Blood was seen coming from the left side of his neck as he fell over to his left. Charles was transported to the Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem. Charles was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Investigators reviewed the Utah Valley University surveillance cameras. While reviewing the surveillance cameras, investigators observed an individual on the rooftop of the Lossy Center building on the UVU campus at the time of the shooting. Hereafter, the unidentified individual will be referred to as suspect. Based on surveillance camera footage, suspect appears to be a white male with dark-colored hair, wearing a dark-colored hat, sunglasses, a long-sleeve black shirt, with a picture of an American flag and an eagle printed on the shirt, dark-colored jeans, and white and gray shoes with white-colored shoelaces. The shoes appear to be consistent with Chuck Taylor Converse-style shoes. The suspect is also carrying a dark-colored backpack on his back. Suspect walks with a distinctive gait. Prior to the shooting, suspect appears to walk with a stiff right leg and at a relatively slow pace. Suspect's ability to bend his right leg appears to be restricted. Investigators were able to track suspect's movements on the UVU campus starting at approximately 11:50 hours on 9/10/2025. At approximately 11:50 hours, a UVU surveillance camera first captured suspect walking across a grassy area north of Campus Drive at approximately 800 West. Suspect walked south through the parking lot and approached a pedestrian tunnel that runs underneath Campus Drive. Before entering the tunnel, suspect paused at the top of the stairs and pulled out what appeared to be a cell phone from his right pocket, using his right hand at approximately 11:53 hours. Suspect eventually puts what appears to be a cell phone back in his right pants pocket, using his right hand. Surveillance captured suspect making his way towards the Lossy Center. At approximately 12:02 hours, suspect was recorded walking on the north side of the Lossy Center building, walking with the same gait as observed earlier. Suspect entered the Lossy Center building through a set of doors on the southeast corner of the Lossy Center building at approximately 12:15 hours. Suspect was observed walking up the stairs that lead to the common area adjacent to the Lossy Center building. Suspect walked to a short concrete wall that separates the common area from the rooftop of the Lossy Center building at approximately 12:17 hours. Suspect climbed over the short wall and appeared to crouch down on the north side of the wall on the rooftop. At approximately 12:22 hours, suspect stood up and started running across the rooftop of the Lossy Center building. The notable limp from his previous surveillance was absent. The suspect ran to the west side of the rooftop and appeared to scoot along the rooftop area as he got closer to the edge of the rooftop. At approximately 12:22 hours, suspect laid down in a position consistent with a prone shooting position near the edge of the rooftop and appeared to be facing west in the direction of the courtyard area. The rooftop of the Lossy Center building overlooks the courtyard area where the event featuring Charlie Kirk was taking place. The Lossy Center building is east of the courtyard area. At approximately 12:23 hours, Charlie Kirk was shot. At approximately 12:23 hours, surveillance shows the suspect stood up and suddenly from the edge of the rooftop and sprinted north on the rooftop of the Lossy Center building. Suspect ran to the northeast corner of the Lossy Center building and approached the edge of the rooftop. Suspect placed a dark-colored item on the rooftop and proceeded to lower himself off the rooftop. Suspect dropped off the rooftop onto the grass below. Suspect ran north near the parking lot to the east of the Lossy Center. At approximately 12:24 hours, suspect ran north across the Campus Drive Road. Suspect appeared to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from the surveillance. The area to the north of the Campus Drive Road, where the suspect crossed over, consists with a grassy area with trees on the edges of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulge, OWO, what's this?" Inscription on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, catch," up arrow symbol, a right arrow symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow, Chow." A third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." Investigators also discovered a shoe impression on the northeast corner rooftop edges of the Losi Center building. This shoe impression was located in the vicinity where the suspect climbed down from the rooftop. The shoe impression is consistent with the shoe sole characteristics of a Converse Chuck Taylor shoe. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at UVU. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from the UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with the surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, 2025. And in conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed the roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where the rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. Based on the evidence detailed in this statement, I believe there's probable cause that Tyler Robinson committed the crimes of aggravated murder by shooting Charlie Kirk in a circumstance that put many around him at grave risk of death, felony discharge of a firearm, and obstruction of justice for moving and hiding the rifle believed to be used in the shooting. By submitting this affidavit, I declare under criminal penalty of the state of Utah that the foregoing is true and correct. Signed, Davis Bryan. Once again, shout out to Steven Crowder and his team for
they're good at
breaking this news
stuff,
and sharing this. There are some people who are concerned about this stuff getting released, but I think it is clear based on the evidence that they have and what we've seen so far that this is an open and shut case.
So what do you guys think psychologically, as an analyst of sorts, about public execution?
That's a doozy.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Just real quick, if you can think about it for a second.
Yeah.
There are many people on social media right now suggesting that we need a death sentence and for it to be carried out publicly for a variety of reasons. Some say provides relief and comfort to the millions. It can help act as a pressure relief valve, but more importantly, to symbolize deterrence. Psychologically, do you guys think that's true?
Yes, I do think it's true. I think it would massively act as a huge deterrent because, I mean, what kind of message does it send if you go lenient on someone who murders, assassinates a key political figure? I mean,
don't most mass shooters shoot themselves?
Yeah.
No, so I'm saying, so I don't know if that would deter somebody, the death penalty, if they're already going to kill themselves.
You know what concerns me is the internet video, because in the past they would do it. Everyone would go to the public square and they'd watch it and then they'd leave and they'd be like, I'm never messing with that. But now with the ever-present repetition of it on TV, I think it would make the guy a hero and just also desensitize.
Like the Luigi situation, who, he's now kind of, valorized in a way.
They made him a hero.
Yeah.
They made Saint Luigi candles.
Yeah.
And I assure you, with the information being released on this man, I wouldn't be surprised if literally already they're selling merch, hailing him as a hero. He'll be on the cover of their zines or whatever they have to do. I bet if you go on Blue Sky, they're all lionizing him.
Because I was for public execution, just like scare them into stopping. But now with internet video, I'm super concerned about the ramifications for 1,000 years if that was a video that burned into every child's memory.
The problem with this, though, is he's going to probably plead guilty, and so he'll be, probably spared from the death penalty.
Well, if you look at Ryan Routh, he's already attempting to make the trial of his assassination attempt on Trump as a political statement. He's trying to bring into this court case things Trump has said or done to use them as justification of something, related to his case. So I'd imagine this person will do the exact same thing. I often say you have to give people a path to redemption, otherwise they'll take the other path. Right now, clearly, there is no path to redemption for what this man has done. He will look at the roads before him. One is blocked off for very obvious reasons. There will be no forgiveness here. But the left, they've left the road open as they celebrate for him. There's a clear and obvious path he will walk down as we go to trial.
Maybe life in prison. The guy that shot John Lennon, his 17th parole was denied, I think. He's still rotting in prison. John Hinckley. And he wanted to be known as he wanted to be connected to Lennon. That was part of what he said, why he did it.
That was Chapman.
I'm sorry. I said Hinckley. Hinckley shot Reagan.
Hinckley got out.
Hinckley's out. Sorry about that, dude.
And
Hinckley,
Chapman was
I'm so
crazy.
sorry about that.
And Hinckley was crazy.
Mark David Chapman, that's the guy.
He was nuts.
17 paroles denied.
It wasn't politically motivated that he shot John
No,
Lennon.
he wanted to be associated with John Lennon. It was that sick fan, and that's what he said anyway. And I don't know if killing him would have done anything. This guy, maybe it's better that he rots in prison for 20 years and then he repents.
This is a serious issue. With the school shooters, we've been looking at this for years now. Like, how do you actually deter this type of thing? And it's only gotten worse. There's more and more of them.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.